I just remembered I did extra work on Jermaine Fowler's sketch comedy show like a year ago.
Friends of the People.
Yeah, and so I don't know if have either of you been extras in anything?
No.
It's the funniest.
I'm always the fucking star.
I'm the star of the show. It's the funniest shit in the world. So like all the people that. Most of the people doing extra work, it's like it's an easy job.
Yeah.
And if you're a union, you get like $150 a day, and you mostly just sit around. If you like freelance or something, it's great. You bring your laptop, you can like just write.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you don't really have to do shit. You're in like a scene for maybe like 5 seconds.
Oh, that's cool. Do they feed you?
Yeah, you get free food. You know,
You get your dick sucked.
and then 10% of the people there. Okay, so yeah, like 89% of the people are. You know, just
they know what's up.
10% are, trying to be serious actors, and then 1% are like batshit insane.
Mentally ill
Just
people.
like there was this one time I was in holding for a show, and there's this woman with like aviator sunglasses on, rail thin, like anorexic, like very tall, lanky, just veins everywhere, just a very vascular, creepy woman. She's like hunched over like a fucking gargoyle on her chair. And some guy was like, oh, well, my friend David Richards, he's a writer. He's like talking to somebody quietly. And from across the room, she goes, oh, yeah, I know him. He raped me.
Oh, Jesus fucking
yeah, I know him. He raped me back in the 80s. I was like, I don't know. What are we supposed to do with that? Yeah. And then they start talking. She's like, oh, never mind. This must be a different guy. And it was like somebody with the same name, or she was confused.
Was he a manager at a Chili's in Newark?
The only set job I've had is the one you got me when we were truck boys.
Truck boys, dude. Well,
didn't you have a good extra...
Well, I was about to tell.
Okay.
I was about to tell an extra story. I forget what the fucking lead into it was. I think we were talking about that. Oh yeah, the Jesus allegory thing. But there was this one guy at that Friends of the People thing who just had like 90s asshole hair. Like both of his parents were named Zach. Like a fucking like always wearing Izod, like penis haircut. That 90s penis haircut.
Exactly.
Which is a very like a very nicely shaped glands helmet of hair. And like anytime they would call cut, he would immediately turn and face the camera, and you could see him on all the monitors, and no one's paying attention.
Oh my god!
They're just trying to fucking ignore him. And then I had to fucking listen to. So I went into. I forgot what. Okay, yeah, we're sitting and holding, and one of the producers comes in, and like they tell us like, okay, guys, so basically the sketch idea is like. And I don't want to shit on the show or whatever. I mean, but like they're just telling you the pitch of the sketch. So it's like even if the funniest show in the world, if they just tell you like, here's the idea, you're like, okay, you're not gonna laugh at it,
right? Whatever.
Because it's just the
they're just telling you
so
so you
he's
know
just
what's going
losing
on.
it.
Yeah. So she's like, okay, so basically the setup is like, they're throwing a house party, and the president shows up, Barack Obama shows up, and he eats all the food. And, and again, I don't want to shit on the show, but so everyone's.
Why are you prefacing
And
that?
then this guy, he like leans in. He physically leans in, and he's like, "Oh wow, that's so great!" And I had to like, step out of the room for a second to like, call him a slur under my breath, and like laugh at him. And I come back in, and the producer's talking to him, and she goes, "No, President Obama won't actually be here."
God!
He thought the president of the United States
was gonna pop in.
was gonna do a quick drop in. He's gonna spend a day shooting a sketch where he eats too many Cheetos.
Right, for True TV.
For True TV.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, we were leaving.
That's so
we were
good.
in like a van back to the city or whatever at the end of the day, and like. Somebody was talking about something, and he's like, "Well, what is your favorite film?" And they were like, "Oh, The Matrix or something." And that guy goes, that whole story is actually an allegory for Jesus Christ."
Hell yes,
And then he
bitch.
starts describing the Matrix parallels. And how it's actually
I mean, it
about
sort
Jesus.
of is. He's not wrong.
Yeah. No,
2
those-
and 3 are
the
just
chosen one?
Christ
yeah.
allegory.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
I mean, isn't the license plate like a?
Yeah.
It's like a biblical reference. When
We
Agent
can't
Smith-
criticize it because they're both trans. So
Oh, are they? Oh,
Yeah,
they're
the
both
other one's trans now,
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it the Wachowski sisters?
Yes, this is. Well, no, just the
Siblings.
Wachowskis. You
The
just say the Wachowskis.
Is that their chosen pronoun?
Yeah. Just
What are
their
the
name.
odds?
Yeah.
The pronouns.
What are the odds? It's really
Let
true.
me ask you this though: do you think they would have transitioned if the second two movies had been better. If they had been better movies, as good as the first one.
They're sitting with their PR guy and they're like, "Look, we need to get a little traction
Speed
right
Racer
now."
bombed.
Yeah.
You're like,
If
God
you-
damn it! You said I wouldn't have to.
If they had
Emil
never gotten
Hirsch.
funding for the Animatrix, would they have transitioned?
I watched Speed Racer on mushrooms once, and it was
Intense.
so scary. I mean, I had to turn it off.
I tried watching Super Jail on mushrooms. I don't know why I thought
shit.
that would be a good idea.
Isn't that the show that on purpose fucks with you? Like,
Yeah,
on
it's
purpose
like
looks
even when you're
tripping?
sober, you're like you feel kind of disturbed.
Right.
It's great. It's one of the best things I've ever seen. But
Yeah,
yeah, I tried
yeah.
watching that on mushrooms. I had to leave the room. That was too much.
Yo, you remember Jose Extreme Parking?
Oh God, that guy was the best. We'll talk about Jose real quick.
All right, so Nick gets me a job. He's like, you just got to sit in the passenger seat of this truck. That's basically it. And then we got to move things like a couple times, but you just hang out on this truck. In the middle of the day, they're like, yeah, we're going to need you to get your own 16-foot truck and drive it around Manhattan. I'm just alone, just in a massive
Oh, you
truck.
were alone, but
Yeah,
Nick
alone.
wasn't with
yeah,
you.
they split us up.
For starters, the truck they made us pick up, it was like a 20-foot truck, and normally trucks are 14-foot.
Right.
And like a 20-foot truck, you don't need a CDL until it reaches like, it's a weight thing, but basically like a 30-foot truck.
Right.
But the difference between 14 and 20
is
feet
massive.
when you're driving
Yeah.
that truck, and
Because
you
they're
get in
also
that thing.
wider too. and
Yeah,
like-
you get in that thing and you're like, I shouldn't be driving this fucking
No,
truck.
yeah.
Especially around Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd feel weird driving in like the fucking Baltimore suburbs, fucking in the middle of fucking. And you guys were right in the mix. Dude.
We
Where
had
was this?
we were like in Midtown driving these massive trucks alone.
Yeah, Midtown.
I
It's
just
not
lied
even like-
my way into this job. Nick said I just have to sit in the
It's not
passenger
even a
seat.
lying thing. They don't give a shit.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a shit. They hire whoever. It's like, yeah, I got a friend, Brent. He'll do it. And then it's like, okay, we'll go pick up $2 million worth of camera and lighting equipment. And they're like, no, we already signed for it. And then just park the truck wherever. They don't even like give you instructions on where to park
So
the
yeah,
truck.
so like we had a 5 a.m. call. They're like, yeah, it's our responsibility to park the trucks, and so like we're supposed to park them in like lots or whatever. We had a 5 a.m. call. There's this dude that's just like wide awake. We get there to park the trucks, and he's just like screaming at people, like moving trucks, like air traffic controlling, and like I get it, he like screams at me to move the truck, and then I get out, and he's like, "Anyway, man, sorry I yelled at you. My name is Jose. I'm a small business owner. I own my own company. It's called Extreme Parking."
Well, he didn't tell us. He showed us his business card.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
we found it because we struck up a conversation with him. They like hire somebody, and this guy's only job is to just sit outside all night before the shoot and put up traffic cones so
Oh,
that
wow.
like nobody will take the parking space.
Right.
Which is like shooting in New York, you need someone to
Yeah,
totally.
It's
Yeah,
called
so
a
that
parking
So,
coordinator.
this guy
That sounds
has
illegal, right? You
No,
just-
it's not.
No, you get permits from the
permit
city.
streets.
Okay,
But the way
okay.
the permits work is that they don't say that you can't park there. It just allows you to hold the parking space.
Gotcha.
So if somebody wanted to come and take that parking space, they could.
Gotcha.
And that's why you have like a cone guy. So this guy's business is he owns the cones.
He's the cones guy.
Yeah.
He just owns
And
the business.
Well, he
He's
shows us his business card and it says extreme parking on it.
Jose Extreme Parking.
Yeah, and it took everything I had not to like.
That's
I was like,
incredible.
Excuse me. Like, I have to go.
They
to
have
the
a
bathroom.
website. I found the website.
I have to take
Really?
a number
Yeah,
laugh.
yeah. Anyway, so he's like bragging to us. We're like, yo, so like, are the parking guys in New York like union? Like, that's what you ask every job on a film shoot. Is like, are you union or not?
Right,
because
right,
that's
right.
like, an easy conversation starter. And he's like, hell no, dude, never going union. I'm never going union, bro. He's like, yeah, man, I raised like 6 kids. I raised like 6 kids.
Nine.
I raised
You
9
exaggerated
kids.
in the wrong direction on that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, I raised 9 kids. Last year, Extreme Parking made $85,000. And like split between me and my 5 guys.
Well, we asked him. He was like, I made $90,000 last year. And I was like, that's pretty good. Is that before or after tax? He's like, well, it's split between me and my like 8 guys. I'm like, that's no money.
You made no money.
He's
No
got
way I'm
9
going
children.
union, man. No way I'm going union, bro. I've raised 9 kids on this.
That's so fucking
On this
funny.
parking game.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No, those
What is he
jobs-
feeding those fucking kids, dude?
I don't know, man. But production's the funniest job for meeting those kinds of people.
Oh, it's the best.
The other extra, I did extra work on Blue Bloods.
Oh,
one
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Tom Selleck? Did you see Tom Selleck?
No, but I saw Donnie.
Oh, hell yeah.
I saw Don, and there was this fucking guy there this older black dude who was like in his like he was probably in his early 60s.
Okay.
And you know, he clearly had taken elocution lessons, or at least knew how to approximate them. Because, you know, he's like always had his fucking eyebrows vaulted, you know, like speaking in a, you know, very like erudite way or whatever, but then about bullshit. It was always bullshit. Right. And like the minute I saw this guy when we're sitting and holding, I'm like, I'm gonna listen to every word this guy has to say.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of the extras, they have their own cop outfits because they do extra work so much. They go and buy New York police officer outfits.
I come with my uniform.
Yeah. No, that's what they do, because it's like you can get a job as like. You know, the guy that's permanently a police officer on the background of like CSI or whatever.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So we're there, and he finds this girl. I forget her name. We'll call her Gabby. And she was like younger, like kind of attractive, but not TV attractive. You know, like she's like, yeah, I'm trying to become an actress. You know, like that's what I want to do is I want to be an actress. And it's like. You know, I mean, whatever. She's 19, so she has time to like figure out that, you know,
she's not going to be an actress. Yeah.
And this Lawrence guy immediately hones in on her because it's someone that he can spew all of his bullshit to.
Oh God.
And you know, like I'm trying to remember a couple of the hits, but you know, there was a good one in there where he's like, you know, I mean, I show up on these sets and you know, I'm ready to go. You know, and I the one time they say to me, Lawrence, you know. We need you to move up, and we need you to speak a couple of lines in this one. And I say, I'm ready. I can do that. You know? But they give me just my sides, and I say, well, I'm going to need the whole script. I need to understand my character's motivations. What is he feeling in this situation? You know, like,
and the line is like.
Yeah. Has anybody seen The Coffee Maker? You know, it's like she just pokes her head in or whatever. Yeah, it's never.
They went that way.
Yeah. And he's like, I need to know my motivations. And then, you know, it's like everything's like just filled with all this like bitterness. There's like a subtext of, you know, jealousy and anger. And there's one time he was like, I just heard him and he's talking to her. He's like, and I told her, you know, I mean, next time you're going to be working for me. I'll be producing on the next one. I'll be directing. You know, you're going to be working for me. So, you know, no, you can't talk to me that way. I forget who said the line, but one of my favorite lines is, I'm going to show them who's never been boss. Yeah. And I think that applies. I think that applies to Lawrence. But so he's going off about, you know, the whole time. One time he's saying, you know, I've been here since season 1. I've been working here on this project together since season 1. It's like, you know, you've just been booked as an extra.
Yeah.
For 7 years. On the show.
On Blue Bloods.
Yeah, on Blue Bloods. The show with 19 granddads where everyone has a mustache. The mustache granddad show. Yes, no, you know what? So it's like Tom Selleck is supposed to play the patriarch on that show. He's this like cop granddad, and then his son like has a son, so he's like he's the granddad,
right?
And then Tom Selleck's dad is on the show too. So there's another grandpa.
Jesus Christ,
yeah,
really?
There's
that many grandpas?
9 generations of Irish cops, but the guy who plays Tom Selleck's father on the show is only like 3 years older than Tom Selleck in real life. Because the math doesn't make any fucking sense. But so after like a whole day of Lawrence going off about how much, you know, everybody loves him or whatever, he's talking. He's like, you know, me and Donnie have been working on this project for years together. Donnie Wahlberg shows up. You know, nobody's seen Donnie yet. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's Donnie Wahlberg. And he walks by, and Lawrence sees him, and he goes, "Good morning, Donnie." And Donnie Wahlberg takes one look at this man and goes, "Been seeing too much of you around here, Lawrence." And just walks away.
Been seeing too much.
Yeah. He was completely annoyed.
Oh my God.
And then he goes, he like turns to that girl and he's like, "We play games with each other." We like to joke around with each other.